Welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show, a podcast covering all things minor league baseball. Get a front row seat to the action with everything you need to know about the future stars of Major League Baseball. And now, here's your host, Chris Clegg.
What's up, everybody? It is Thursday. It's May 15th. We made it halfway through the month already. We've got some pretty good sample sizes of prospects at this point. Thank you for tuning into the show. My name is Chris Clegg. If you don't know me, I'm the founder of the DynastyDugout.com and the show, the Dynasty Dugout Show, which we'll have some cool things happening here soon. Be on the lookout for that. Got some things and a lot of things in the works in the background right now, but thank you for tuning in daily to this minor league show. We're going to talk about prospects today. It's not my normal look today. Normally I have polo, no hat. I got to get a haircut today. My hair doesn't look great. So tomorrow I'll have a fresh cut on the show, so you can check that out. Going to get a haircut not long after recording this. But today we're going to talk about some prospects on the rise. Are they legit? Does the data back their performance? Et cetera, et cetera. What do you need to know to buy in more than the stat line? We're going to talk about it. But first, the show is brought to you by Connect Roasters. Connect Roasters is Ian Happ's coffee company. They make an incredible blend of coffee. The Gold Glove blend is great. You can get it, buy one. Get one 50% off using the code DynastyDugout at checkout at connectroasters.com or use the link in the description below. Also, Chinook Seedery. It's a proud partner of the show. You can get some Chinook seeds. 10% off. I say buy one, get one free. No, 10% off at chinookseedery.com. So go check that out. Use code DynastyDugout at checkout. So, who have been the hottest performers? Does it matter? Are they legit? Let's talk about it. So I wrote an article today titled Prospects on the Rise. I'll link that in the show description. Go check that out already. We'll talk about a couple of different players that in the article. I'll hit on some that are in the article, some that are not. So that's why you tune into the show, because you get multiple looks at players. So today's article featured some prospects that performed well yesterday, but also those that I think are underrated, on the rise. And I've got to start with this guy, TJ Nichols. I said on his, this is weird how this happens sometimes. I've said on a couple pitchers like worst starts of the year, and they've turned out to be really good. But TJ Nichols of the Rays, he's looked phenomenal all season. 22-year-old prospect in high A, right-handed pitcher. Yesterday, he had 12 strikeouts and 6 scoreless innings. He did not issue a walk, 2 hits and 20 whiffs. I mean, just an utter dominant performance for Nichols. When I saw Nichols, he allowed 4 earned runs in that one start in 3 innings. The rest of his starts combined, he's allowed just 3 earned runs, so significantly less in all 6 of those starts versus the one I saw. He's striking out 36% of batters faced. That's phenomenal, but Nichols has a 2.4% walk rate. That's wild. He's faced 126 batters and has a 2.4% walk rate. Absolutely nuts. Is it legit? Yes, the arsenal is really good with Nichols. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I think he's got like 3+ pitches or anything, but it's a good arsenal and he's commanding the ball exceptionally well. 95, 97 mile an hour fastball that touches 99. It's not like your high riding fastball or anything of that nature, but it does have good sinking action. I think the pitch has improved last year. And since last year, and that's the biggest factor of his improvement. This year on the stat line is that the fastball is better. Velocity's up a hair. A little bit better movement profile on that sinker. Good sink and run, but the secondaries are good too. That slider, 2-plane break, has good depth, good sweeps. It's 84 to 87. And Nichols throws a changeup that has nice depth and fade as well. It works 86 to 88. Man, I'll tell you what, if you're watching the video, you can see that's pretty good stuff. And he faced some good hitters. Like that changeup to lefties is really good. That fastball, he's just blowing by hitters. I like TJ Nichols a lot. That stat line that you just heard and what he did yesterday speaks a lot of volume about who he is as a pitcher. And I think you should be in on TJ Nichols. Major riser, dude that I just happened to see one of his starts and be way in on. And then yesterday has continued to just get even better. So we go from a relatively unknown name to a really well-known name, but is Jacob Misiorowski turning the corner? That's a good question. We look at Misiorowski's game logs, and there's been some dominant performances. I mean, last week, Misiorowski went 6 2/3, 2 hits, 0 earned, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. The start before that, it was 4 walks in 6 innings. It's a mixed bag with Jacob Misiorowski. It just is what it is. But You win some previous starts before, and he wasn't walking anybody. He's had 4 starts with at least 3 walks, 2 with 4 walks in 8 starts so far this year. And he's had multiple with 1 or less walks. So there's a lot of good and there's some bad. When Jacob Misiorowski is on, when he's locating his pitches, and we're talking about an upper 90s fastball from a funky slot from the right side. We're talking about a wiffle ball of a slider, really good changeup. Like, Misiorowski is one of the best pitching prospects in baseball when he's commanding his pitching is when he's on. To go 6 2/3 and walk 1 batter for Misiorowski is huge. The strike rate on Misiorowski is up. I think that's really important that we've seen the strike rate go up. Yes, Misiorowski's walking 11% of hitters. I take that as a pretty big win, actually, considering he walked 16% of batters last year, and he's in the ABS in AAA. The zone is much tighter in AAA than any other league, and 11% walk rate will certainly play for Misiorowski when you're striking out 33% of hitters, and you have the kind of stuff that he does. As I mentioned, the strike rate's up. Things look pretty good on the surface. I mean, he's getting his first pitch strike rate's up 9.5 percentage points, so that's a big deal that Misiorowski's doing so many more first pitch strikes. He's setting himself up for success. He's finding the zone on 52.5% of his pitches. That's up about 6 percentage points from last year. That's really notable. Less end zone contact rate, more chase out of the zone. Really good stuff for Misiorowski. I was kind of in the boat before the season, just throw him in the pen and let him thrive because, I mean, honestly, like, Misiorowski's got that good of stuff that he could go to the bullpen and be really, really good. But now he looks like he could be starting in Milwaukee by the end of the month. Like, remember, they need arms. He could be one that jumps in this rotation. I know they're getting healthy, but yeah, I'm very much in on Jacob Misiorowski. I think this is a top 5 to 7 pitching prospect right now. Very much in. How in am I on Gage Jump of the Athletics? Well, very much so. Gage Jump has really good stuff that's taken a huge leap this year. Jump was a very buzzy prep name in 2021. He was talked about as a first-round potential arm out of high school. He went to UCLA, 16 innings his freshman year. Tommy John kept him out in 2023, transferred to LSU, and it wasn't great at LSU. The results were fine, but the Athletics took him 73rd overall, and the stuff's incredibly better. He added 2 miles an hour to his fastball. Set 93 last year. He's 95 this year. He's added an inch of vert, and he's lowered the release height. Yeah, it's down about an inch, so it's not like a notable drop in release height. But when you drop the release height and you get more IVB, you're doing things right. Because the higher the release height, the higher the IVB just naturally. So it's a rolling scale, as I always like to say. But 19 inches of vert from a 5'6" release height is crazy. Very flat vertical approach angle. It's plus ride. I mean, he's running a swinging strike on his fastball around 20%, which is elite. Now, Gage Jump got the bump to AA last night, and he shoved. He struck out 6 batters and 6 scoreless and generated 12 whiffs. It's exactly what you want to see because all year he's been really, really good. The changeup, he doesn't throw it often, but the changeup's been a pitch in the upper 80s to missed bats. He throws 3 breaking ball variations now. He throws a slider, he throws a curve, and a sweeper. The traditional slider is around 85. It's like 5 to 6 inches of glove side movement. The curveball is 80 to 81 with about 10 inches of sweep and negative 10 inches of IVB. So that's like a loopy 2-plane pitch. And the sweeper's around 0 IVB with like 13 inches of sweep. That pitch sits around 80 to 81 as well. So similar to the curveball, but different movement profiles. He is absolutely just blowing hitters away. Now he's got a 1.95 ERA in 37 innings, 35% strike rate, but he's walked just 4% of batters. That's the most notable thing. Gage Jump looks like a top 100 prospect. So for me, I think Gage Jump will be in my top 100 when I update at the end of the month. That's what I think about him. Very, very good stuff. There's been a lot of buzz about Griffin Herring of the New York Yankees, and rightfully so. In 7 starts, Herring has a 1.4 ERA in 38 innings. He struck out 48 batters, so dominating as far as it goes, as strikeouts go. He's limiting his walks. He's doing everything that you would like to see. So why am I not more in on Griffin Herring? I like him. Again, we're talking about a college arm that's in single A. That's obviously important to talk about when we're looking at this. I mean, when you've got a college arm out of LSU that pitched in the SEC, I get it, he was a reliever, so that kind of matters. But at the end of the day, I'd like to see a little more. He's striking out 31% of hitters. He's walking 9% of batters. Really good K minus BB. It's a 1.4 ERA, but it does come with a 3.13 FIP, so a much higher FIP than the ERA, which is pretty notable. I think there's some things in Herring's profile that have given me some pause. His strand rate right now is very high at 88%. Those normally normalize to like 70%, and his BABIP's very low at 2.47. So there's going to be natural regression. And again, we're talking about a college arm that's pitching in single A, and the stuff isn't, I'll be careful to say, the stuff's not all that great. When you look at the fastball, like, how's it going to play? Because when we look at the pitch data, honestly, like, I'm just not certain that I want to buy in fully to this profile. If you do, if you know somebody that does, maybe sell in fantasy. His fastball sits right above 90 miles an hour. There's not much projection. It's not like he's a high school arm at 90, and he's topping at like 93. So when you average 90, top at 93, the shape is like unspectacular, honestly. Like, I'm looking at the shape and it's like, like, he does get a lot of extension. So I will say that gives him the benefit of the doubt. The extension is going to allow it to play. It's good vert from a 6-foot release height. It's 18.5 inches. But honestly, like, I'm just not sure the velocity is going to play. You have to have some really good secondaries to live in that range at upper levels of the minors. How many arms have we seen in the minors that have lived off low 90s fastballs and dominated single A, dominated high A, and then they get to like double A and they just don't have it anymore? Like, I think of like a Yumin Lin that everybody was on. Yumin Lin was like super buzzy. People yelled at me for not having him in the top 100, and he just didn't have the stuff to do it. Herring's slider is missing bats. It's about 20% whiff rate, so he does have at least one secondary to play off of. It's kind of a gyro shape, which is good, and Herring's changeup does have pretty good fading action. But again, there's not much velocity separation between the fastball and changeup. You're looking at about 4 miles an hour, 4 to 5 miles an hour of separation. It's not a whole lot on the changeup. So Griffin Herring statistically has been one of the better pitching prospects in baseball, but I'm not sure that I'm like fully buying in to that. So just know there are warning signs that the statistics could regress. And because of that, should you buy in? I'm not fully. Some hitters that are on the rise, hitting prospects on the rise. Well, I wrote about Rainiel Rodriguez. We got to talk about him. He's been phenomenal. He was extremely good last year, by the way. And this year, I get it. Complex ball's a week and a half in at this point. He has a 239 WRC plus. It's second in all of baseball. Of course, you want to take that with a grain of salt because it's been 33 plate appearances, but Rodriguez is checking all the boxes. Described to me by someone that works with the team as a Ferrari this offseason. We're going to roll with that nickname. Rodriguez looks the part. Last year in the DSL, 10 home runs, an 1145 OPS. And people said, oh, it's the DSL. StatCast was all right. I mean, it was fine. The body was kind of a concern. People were like, is he going to catch? Like, can he stick? And that was kind of the question mark. Well, he walked more than he struck out last year. That was a good thing. He put up a 190 WRC plus, which is stupid. And this year, now he's walking as much as he struck out in the complex. He's slashing 375, 515, 917. That comes with 4 home runs in 8 games? Yeah, 8 games. Ridiculous. He's got a double to add to that as well. There's power. There's contact ability. It's really, really good stuff. Jose Anderson's another complex league breakout. Got to talk about him because Anderson has been incredible. The Brewers struck gold again. And remember, this guy was good at the DSL last year. It wasn't like this guy came out of nowhere. The Brewers DSL team was one of the best in history last year. They had Jesus Mate. They had Luis Pena. They had this guy named Jose Anderson as well. And he had 8 home runs with 15 stolen bases while slashing 283, 403, 512 last year. So no fluke at all. I mean, this year he's come stateside. It's even better. The contact rates have gone up. He's hitting for power. I saw him in a home run in the spring breakout game and was like, yeah, this guy is him. 370, 528, 852 slash, 3 homers, 3 stolen bases, and 36 plate appearances. Anderson looks like right now I'd probably slot him in like the top 200-ish range. There's some juice. The field of hits improved. There's some sneaky speed. it's a pretty good frame as well. So those are a couple of complex league guys. But what about some non-complex league guys? Let's look at those. Brock Wilken I talked about yesterday. Jeff Ponce wrote a great article about him. It was a great interview of what he dealt with after getting hit in the face and some eye troubles that he had that really he didn't even know about till this offseason until he got those things fixed. So Brock Wilken, yeah, you should probably buy it back in given the circumstances. Marco Dinge, or Dinges, he was somebody that I loved when I saw Carolina. That Carolina Mudcats team was loaded, but Dinges stood out in a big way at catcher. He's thrown out 20% of base runners. I got 1.9 pop times on him, so some pretty good pop times on Dinges behind the plate. And there's juice. I mean, the exit velocities are really good. The contact rates are plus. This kid's 21. He was a JUCO bat that went to FSU, spent 1 year at FSU, came out. He'll be 21 all this year. So, yeah, he probably needs to be out of single A at this point. But, look, people just gushed over Mike Sirota, who was in single A as well. And I don't understand why this guy doesn't get any love, Marco Dinge of the Milwaukee Brewers, considering that people will like just go crazy over these other guys that are older in single A. Like, I don't know. But anyway, that's all to say. Marco Dinge is really good. He's got juice behind the plate. He had 2 home runs yesterday. It's a really impressive profile. Get this guy to high A pretty quick. Like, we need to see him up there. So Marco Dinge, he's somebody I'm way in on at this point. Is Jacob Reimer legit? I mean, I think so at this point. Like, Reimer's done a lot of good things. We've seen the exit velocities jump pretty substantially. Reimer's always had really good contact skills, and that's carried over this year. The approach is good. It's a low chase rate. The exit velocities are, I mean, that's the biggest thing for me is that Reimer now is just getting to so much more power than he's ever gotten to. He's missed time with injury the past few years, but I'm very much interested in Jacob Reimer and that breakout. Man, that Brooklyn Cyclones team is insane. That might be one of the best lineups in the minors. Might be better than Carolina, if we're being honest, but Reimer's doing all the right things. The surface numbers are really good. The StatCast data backs it. So, yeah, I'm fully buying in to some Jacob Reimer, who just turned 21, by the way. So, obviously pretty notable there. Look at one more guy. I want to find one more player before we get out of here. And Braden Montgomery's really good. We know that. I've long said that. Ethan Workinger. There we go. Workinger's an interesting bat where Workinger's had a really good year so far with the Braves. He's back in Double-A. I think I may have talked about him already. Or no, I wrote about him, but aside the point, Workinger has 9 home runs and 114 plate appearances. Last year, he hit just 12 in 545. That's his career high, is 12 homers. And he's going to shatter through it pretty quickly. Slash line of 270, 345, 610 for Ethan Workinger. Really solid stuff there. The underlying data looks good. There's a pretty good contact jump there. The approach, he's aggressive, but he's making the approach work. It's an interesting profile with Workinger. He's 23 in Double-A. But again, this was somebody that you would have to go back, and he signed as an undrafted free agent back in 2020. So it was a 5-round draft, and the Braves signed him out of high school, didn't go to college, and he's interesting. I think that he's potentially made a leap with what we're seeing, and he's not even hitting the ball as hard as he was last year. So if Workinger sees that data take a jump exit velocity-wise, then it's going to be really fascinating to see. How's he doing it? Well, I think it naturally comes that he's pulling more balls in the air. Last year, he pulled 42% of balls. This year, 65.8% of pulled balls. That's pretty notable. And his pulled fly ball rate is way up. He also left Mississippi, which is a notorious pitcher's park. The Braves Double-A is now in Columbus, Georgia. So different park and different dimensions as well. So are we buying in or not? That's the discussion. Stay tuned. See you tomorrow, and we'll talk more minor league baseball. I'll have the fresh cut for you, too, so you can check it out to see me in a Greenville Flyboys hat. By the way, it's awesome. Appy League represent. So let's get out of here. We'll talk to you tomorrow.